Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Jeannie, and of course, it's Jeannie's signatures again. So, today I'll be bringing you the part 2 of the tutorial that I uploaded like 3 4 days ago. Sorry that it came late. I was kind of busy and I just forgot to upload it. I just remembered, like, wow, I've not uploaded this. Please kindly forgive me. And thank you to all my amazing subscribers, the new ones that are just watching this. Please kindly watch the part 1 before you head over to this one. So, without wasting further ado, let's get right into it. So yes, I have the trouser part already. So I've already joined this. It's joined the crotches and made my darts, and then of course I'll be fixing my band shortly. And like I said in my cotton tutorial, I'm going to be placing my zipper by the side. I'm not placing it at the front or at the back, So anyone that you would want, please kindly go ahead, because my customer requested that I place it by the side. And thank God there is no pockets to that, so we are good to go. So I'm basically through with the skirt. So now I'm going to delve right into the top, because this upper part is like the main focus of the tutorial. So for this frontal part that I have like a wrap, I've already cut out the lining for that. So if you want to do a facing for yours, please just kindly do a facing, or you can actually use a bias to turn the neckline. But I felt like this material is transparent, that is a see-through material, and I wouldn't want when you wear your bra to be showing, and also that's why I decided to add a lining to the front parts, but I didn't add it to the back parts. So now basically the next thing I'm going to be doing is to be bringing the back piece, and then I'll be closing that up, like taking out my sewing allowances, so that I'll just place the front part, join the shoulders, and then join the side seams. So that is basically what I want to do here. So this tutorial is kind of well detailed. So if this is what you're interested in, please kind of watch till the end, because it's quite detailed. I showed every step of the way um, on how I made this. So I'm just trying to get my sewing allowances, and then please, when you are making this kind of cloth or a top, yeah, as you can see on the thumbnail, it's not a tight fitted top, so it's a free top. So you just do well to add 1 inch or half an inch to your allowance, to your body measurement, so that it would be free. It would not be tight, because it's meant to be free. So basically I'm doing my bust measurement, as you can see me doing it. This is how I close my, or take out my seam allowances, and then I'll do that. I'll replicate the same thing on the waist area, and when I'm through with that, I'll connect them, and then I'll bring my front pieces, and then I'll place it, and then join on the shoulders by half an inch, and then of course the side seams, I'm going to be running the stitches across where I marked, as you can see me do. So if you have any questions, please, you can go right ahead. If you want me to drop my contact, I'll be willing to do that, but not yet. I wouldn't want to go against the rules and whatever of YouTube, yeah. So I'm just going to do my waist measurement, and of course this is not going to be having any dart, because it's a free top and it's a wrap top, so we necessarily don't need a dart for that. Yeah, dart for that. That's funny. So I'm taking my waist measurements, and I'm going to be connecting that as you see me do, because placing the front on this would have made it more difficult for me to align properly, because of that wrap effect in the front. So that's why I'm basically just marking, and make sure that this is done on the reverse side of the fabric, not on the front part, or not on the right side. So that is what I'm trying to connect, like so. So, so before you run that, yeah, lest I forget, for that wrap part effect, please kindly just place it on your on the back, like so, just for you to align the shoulders properly, and then join the shoulders, and then take it to the sewing machine, and then join the two wrap sides together. Just use like 1/4 of an inch to join it together. so that when you're sewing the side seams, it won't affect your measurements, body measurements. I believe you understand what I mean. I'll show you what I mean shortly. So I'll run the shoulder seams. Sorry about the quality of this place because I had to make use of another phone because my phone was acting up. So that is why the quality is somehow funny. So I've joined the shoulders as you can see as you can see on the table, yeah. So that's what I was trying to explain. So for the back, don't worry, we're going to be using a collar, so we don't need to turn anything for the back. So for the waist area, as you can see, I've gone ahead to use a quarter of an inch to join the two wraps together so that it would be easy for me to join the side seams. So that is what I was explaining there. As you can see, my hands pointing there. So let me quickly go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back to show you. So just align it properly. So having done that, I'll be right back to show you the next thing. So I think I've done that here, yeah. You know, the way the camera is moving like in a slow-mo effect, it's kind of funny. I didn't know this was how it came out. It was after I'd done the video, so sorry about that. So yes, I've done that. You can see that our top is coming out the way we want it, the way we expect it to be. So you can see the wrap effect on the front. So that was basically just telling you that if you don't want any cleavage showing, you can just use a press button and all that. But I don't think that is necessary because the wrap inside has already covered most of the bust area. So basically, the next thing we're going to be doing is to attach our shared waistline. You know, I told you. That's why I said if you have not watched the cotton tutorial, please kindly watch the part 1 before coming here because you won't understand most of the things that is being done here. So you need to watch the first part before coming for this part 2. So for this waist area that I'm going to be attaching to this waist area of the wrap, I doubled the waist area, that is just the front part. I doubled the front part, and then I'll be replicating the same thing for the back as well. So if you want to triple yours, please kindly go ahead, but I think double is still enough, it's still okay. And then I ran 1 inch, half an inch for the seams, for the long strip that I have there. You can see that I joined it because I didn't have enough fabric to go once. So that is for the front, so you can see it. So I doubled it, so this will be for the front, and this is exactly the same thing I'll be doing for the back as well. So now I'm setting the top aside, and then so that we can concentrate on this band, because of course it's a band, but it's going to be a shared band. Like we're going to be running a shared thread, like a smoky kind of a thing on it, to give us that effect that we have on the waistline. And so basically the next thing I'll be doing now is just to mark half an inch. You're pretty much going to see what I'll be doing. So I just brought out the thread to see the kind of thread I'll be making use of. That's a rubber thread, and that is what we use mostly for our smoky effect on clothes. So now I'll be marking half an inch all the way down, but if you would want yours to be very close, you can go for a quarter of an inch at intervals. But I made use of half an inch because I felt like half an inch is still pretty much okay. So this was where I used that blue chalk that I told you because I wanted everything to be seen and to be visible. I didn't want anybody to tell me that, oh, I didn't see what you marked. So that was why I made use of this blue thread. And please take note that, like I said, thank God this material is not a frail material that would wash or something. So please always ensure kind of fabric you're making use of before doing this kind of risk. I knew that this material was not going to fade, so I'm going to be taking it. I will wash it off and then give it a very good ironing before delivering to my customer. So that is why. So I've ruled out all the lines, as you can see. I've rolled out all the line. That is how you're going to be doing it, because this is a pretty much a big work, but you just have to exercise patience and then you do that. So I'll be taking my thread, my rubber thread, and then of course my reeler. And for this, like I say, like usually say, I have enough shuttles. So I have shuttles that is meant for this kind of purpose, for this shared for this smoky effect, because a smoky effect shuttle must have a loose opening where you can pass the rubber through, but for a normal sewing you need a tighter one. So I have enough shuttles, so I just make sure that I kept two of these shuttles for this kind of smoky thing. I don't touch that. I kept it separate, and I have the one that I use for my normal sewing. I believe you understand me. But if you want me to make like a separate tutorial on how I made this, I would definitely do that. That one is no problem. I'm just trying basically to tell you that this tutorial is well detailed. So as you can see, I took my rubber thread and I'm running it with my hand through my reeler. You don't need to use a machine to reel this. No, it's not going to work. You just have to use your hand. And when you are doing that, please don't drag the thread, because it's rubber like. It draws, it drags, it drags. So just keep rolling it until you fill up the reeler. It's quite easy as A and B and C. So that is what I was trying to do there. So when it's filled up, you can just set it aside. And so basically the next thing you're going to be doing is taking it to your sewing machine, fix it into your shuttle. And like I said, points to be taken note is that the shuttle should not be a tight one, so that the rubber will go through it, and when you're sewing it will be effortlessly easy for you to do that. So that is what I'll be doing after reeling this. I'll just take it to my sewing machine, sew it, and then come back to show you the result. So please, if you want me to make a tutorial, if you watched up to this level and you feel like, oh, please kind of show me how you made that, I would definitely oblige that. Okay? Yeah. So I brought out my shuttle, as you see. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Everything I've explained so far is just what I was trying to explain there. Yeah. So like I said, if you've watched up to this level and you have not subscribed, Abba, what did I do? What did your girl do now? Please kindly smash that like button, hit on the subscribe button, and kindly share, because there are enough people that would want to watch this video. Thank you. So those lines were meant to serve as a guide when sewing it. So let me quickly do that. We'll be right back. And yeah, here we are. We've already gone ahead to do that off camera, so you can see how the smoky effect came out to be. So you can see that the lines were quite visible from here, because I don't want anybody to tell me that, oh, you didn't, why is the line not visible? I didn't see it and all. That is why I made use of a blue chalk. So yes, that is for the front. So I'm going to be doing pretty much the same thing for the back, and then I'll be attaching them, joining them together before fixing it on the top. So let me quickly do that, and then I'll be right back. So yes, finally, thank God we're back to our normal camera, because that thing was quite frustrating. Yeah, even me that I'm watching it, I didn't like that, but I just had to show it. I'm so sorry. So yes, I've done the front and then the back, and I've joined them together. So as you can see, we are having our top is coming up pretty beautiful. Honestly, the camera did not do justice to the beauty that this style exudes. Oh my God, this was very beautiful. I don't know why it did not. The camera quality is very poor. Sorry about that, but it came out very beautiful, except for the sleeves that I altered. Everything about the style was just apt. It was on point. So if you try yours, you are going to get exactly the same thing you saw on the thumbnail. No doubt about that. Both the trouser, both the top, everything came out very beautiful. And I can categorically tell you that when of course I've already done and delivered the clothes, My client loved every bit of it. If she sends me a picture, I'm just going to be uploading it on my shot so that you would see how perfect it came out to be. So now I'm attaching the bands. So I'm going to be placing the side seams matching each other on both sides, and then use a pin to hold it together. We don't want one side not attaching to the other side. Now we don't want that. We want a neat job. So now for the waist area, I'm just going to be using my pins to hold it in place all the way around, and then take it to my sewing machine, and of course run half an inch all the way around to join it to the waist, to the top. Yeah, so I'm pretty much going to be doing that, and then I'll be right back to show you how it looks. So that will go over to the next step. So you can see this is where it's going to be looking by the time we're finished sewing it. So let me do that and I'll be right back. So having done that, this is what we have. Is this not looking very beautiful and lovely? It's looking very beautiful and neat. And as at this time, I'd gone ahead to open my armhole properly because that armhole was quite small, so I just had to adjust that, and I did that off camera. So yes, the next thing we're going to be doing now is to be fixing our sleeves. We're going to be fixing our sleeves because the collar is going to be coming as the last thing we're going to be doing. So now for the sleeves, yeah, like I said in part 1 of the video, I had to improvise because my fabric was almost exhausted. So that was when I improvised for the sleeves, and it came out okay. It's just that it had an opening, and that was still okay. So, and I made use of 3 yards of fabrics for this. I made use of 3 yards, and the length is by 60. So you can see that is how it came out to be. So for the sleeves, if you know how to cut a basic sleeve, please kindly just cut yours and then just follow the steps I'm trying to make. But if you want to leave yours exactly as it is on the thumbnail, please, you don't have to bother about cutting this into 2. Take note. I'm doing this because I had to improvise, because when I cut one sleeve, I discovered that to get the other sleeve, it will have to be in 2 pieces. That was when I had to improvise by doing my sleeve like this. So if yours is enough and you were able to cut out your sleeves perfect, please don't even bother going for this, except you just want to follow me and do the same thing. So now I came down by 4 inches, and then I'll be going up by 4 inches from the lower part as well. So those places that I marked, I'm going to be running a 1/4 of an inch all the way down just to attach the sleeves together. So I'll be marking that a 1/4 of an inch on that line. That's where I'm going to be sewing, and I'll be doing the same thing here. So those lines I'm going to be sewing on then, and then stop at where I marked the 4 inches. So let me do that and I'll be right back. So having done that, this is what I have. So I'm opening it up now for you to see the way it looks. Yeah. So you can see the opening we have in the middle. So for this place, I'll just fold it back like so, and then fold it in the same folding that I have on the allowances, just to make that place neat, like a 1/4 and then a 1/4, and then I'll run a stitch. I'm going to be doing that on both sides, just to make it neat, and then do the same thing here, and then give it a very good press so that everything will lay flat and neat. So having done that, that is what I have. I've already done the 2 sleeves. So for this band area, I'm just going to, this band that I cut out was too big. I later shared this for the 2 sleeves, but this was like 3 yards I have open. So I later made use of 1.5 inches for each. So I'll share that into 2, then fold it the way I'm folding like this. If you want to iron an stay to give it stability, you can go ahead, but I don't think that is really necessary because my fabric is thick. So I just went ahead and then did it like this, folded it like this, and then opened up this. But for this lower round sleeve area, I made sure that I pleated or made some gathers a little bit just to give it the effect that it has on the thumbnail, because I made my round sleeve a little bit bigger than the normal, and then I sandwiched this in between it and then ran a stitch all the way. So let me quickly do that and come back. So as at the time I finished doing this, this is how it looks. You understand what I did. This is what I did. So you can see the opening I have on my sleeves. And when you are fixing your sleeve, please ensure that that line runs across your shoulder line. Not that you fix it and the thing will be looking horrible. Please, no, that is not good. Just make sure that that line follows exactly the same line on your shoulder line. So I've done these two, and then I'll be fixing this as well. So I've done that, and then we have our sleeves already. So the next thing we're going to be doing is our neckline, and that is our collar. So for this collar, you just take your round neck measurements. That is how you take it. I took it for my client, and I know where a heart is going to be getting to. So just take your client or yours very well wherever you want it to get to. And when you are going to be cutting this thing, please ensure that the collar stand has 1 inch extra, because that 1 inch extra is the one that would float around your neckline. It will not sit on the neckline of the top, if you understand what I mean. That is where you are going to be attaching a press button, something, so that it will just stay on your neck perfectly well. That one will not be entering or the neckline of the top. I don't understand. I don't know if you understand what I mean. But as we progress, you're going to be seeing it. And as you saw on the thumbnail, because you saw, of course, the way the collar came out, and the collar stand was extended far beyond where it was supposed to be. So if you know how to cut a collar, you can just go right ahead, cut yours, and then add 1 inch extra, like I said, to the collar stand. But for the purpose of beginners that are watching this tutorial, we won't want them going up and down or front and back. So I'll just make a quick tutorial on how to cut a basic collar. So after getting your collar measurement, you fold your fabric or your paper into two. I like cutting on paper, or if you have a gum stay, you can just use your gum stay instead of using a paper. Just cut on a gum stay, so that when you want to cut on your fabric, you just cut it out straight and then iron it to it and all that. But I'll be making use of a paper, so that the markings will show at least. So yes, for the first one, I'll be marking out the length of the collar. So whatever the length of your collar is, you mark it out and ensure that it's on fold, not open. So when it's on fold, you know it's going to be half of your collar that you are going to be measuring. So I've already done that, and then the next thing I'll be taking is to get the midpoint of my collar as it is on fold like this. So I'll be marking the midpoints. Sorry, I didn't have a marker, so I had to make use of this chalk. And to that edge part, as you see me do, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch. And from that 1 inch, I'll be slanting it to meet the half that I divided my collar into, like so. So in order to get my collar stand, I want my collar stand to be a height of 1 inch. So I'll be placing my tape like so, and then I'll be marking out 1 inch all the way. When I get to the slanty part effect, I'll just naturally fill in for the normal line and then mark it all the way down. Just watch what I'm doing and you would understand what I'm explaining. So you see, after getting to that midpoint, I just naturally came back to the normal line, and then I marked the 1 inch. So that would kind of give it that slope effect, so that it would have a very good sitting on your neckline. So now I'm cutting out that 1 inch that I came up with when I started, and then just to blend that place in so that it won't be too sharp. And so I'm cutting out the collar stand. It's quite easy, there's nothing to it. And so bear in mind that we have various ways that we can cut out this, but I've always used this and it has always been good for me. So you can leave it like this, or you can just give it that slight curve that we have at the tip that we see in most of our packaged shirts. So that is what I'm doing right there, because I always like that curvy hip part at the collar stand area. So we have our collar stand. We have our collar stand. So now we're going to be cutting our main collar. I just felt like that place was still a little bit pointed, so I'm just trying to make it. So now let me quickly cut the collar, and then we're good to go. So folding into two as well, you get your collar measurements, your round neck measurement, I beg your pardon. And then I'll be going up by 2 inches, because I would want my collar to be 2 inches. So with the collar stand and then the collar, everything will be 3 inches. But if you want yours bigger, you can make it 2.5 inches or even 3 inches. So this is entirely optional. Whatever you want, you can go ahead and do that. So let me just quickly cut off that excess so that it will be easy for us when we're drafting, so that you see what I'm doing properly. So I've cut out the excess. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just come in by 1 inch, and then from the 2 inches that I marked upwards, I'm just going to be slanting that in to give us that curve effect, or that slant effect that a collar always has. And we have that, and then at the folded part here, I'm just going to be going up by half an inch, and then from that I'll slant it to the 1 inch that I came in with, and voila, we're through with our collar. So you can see that this is pretty much easy. It's easy breezy. So let me just quickly cut that out, and then cut out our collar. Sorry. And so we're good to go. So you can see our collar, and then I'll be introducing our collar stand. So let me quickly cut this out on my fabric. And when you're cutting out on your fabric, please make sure that you add ½ inch all the way around. As you see, I've gone ahead to cut it out, and I added ½ inch all the way. So those ones will be sewing allowances. So at the end of the day, our collar will still come back to be 2 inches. And then for the collar stand as well, I did the same thing I did on the collar. I added ½ inch all the way around it, and this is what we have. So if you want me to show a tutorial on how to do this, I will do that, but because I want our time to be far gone, so I didn't really show how I ended up sewing this. So this is pretty much the end of the tutorial. So you just place it like so and then attach it. But if you want me to make a tutorial, your request is a given, so I'll be glad to do it. So I'll just fix it on the